Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. Please like, share and subscribe. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of Nicola Bulley, who was reported missing on the 27th of January. She was last seen at 9:15 near the river Torpart. That is on the right hand side, the river Torpart, near the bushes and trees. And then you have the iron gate, the iron bridge, where all the yellow flowers was put out for, and the ribbons for Nicola. Nicola is a 45-year-old mother with two daughters aged 6 and 9. Condolence to her family, may she rest in peace. There's a reason I wanted you all to pay attention to this screenshot. This is after you pass the weir. I just wanted you all to pay attention to how shallow the water was. So if Nicola Bulley passed the weir, she would have, trigger warning, may God bless her, she would have had to have passed through the river in this side, and the river was being scrutinized for over 2 weeks. The river banks were scrutinized. The empty properties were scrutinized too. Each and every place was being searched. Peter Folden and the SGI team joined the search. They were requested by Nicola's family. They did an excellent job. And unfortunately, Peter Folden did not get the thanks that he should have received, honestly. He wasn't even told about the vulnerable information of Nicola that actually came to his attention the same time as the public. You can imagine, if you are giving your services free of charge, you're helping out the search, you're not entitled to know the information because it's police work. I do understand, but then at the same time you're working with the police and you're working for the same cause. I think in this case, egos took over. So basically it costed the search for Nicola Bulley, the investigation. So what I'm trying to say is, if you look at the water, how shallow it is, this was taken a week after Nicola was reported missing, 2 weeks after. And for Nicola to have passed this place, she would have come to the destination or the location where they found her. So somebody would have seen her, a car would have noticed her. Cars are driving 24/7 over the bridge. People are walking, dog walkers are walking. Emma White is Nicola's friend. And Emma has said in most of the interviews that she doesn't believe that Nicola has fallen in the river, and that there should be evidence and facts and not hypotheses, like she said in the Sky News clip. So when the friends of Nicola are standing outside appealing for for dash cam footages, then I believe that they would definitely know their friends. The friend, obviously Nicola, may she rest in peace, his behavior, her character, and for them not to believe that she fell in the river, then it still makes me question why the police, Lancashire police, had only one hypothesis. They said they had many other hypotheses, but they were focusing on that one.
To call 101.
101, yeah, just for any information, and it is just driving that awareness that somebody might see her. She might not even be in St Michael's anymore, but wherever she is, just bring Nikki home.
And about knowing that search is extended towards the sea, that they just haven't been able to find any trace of Nikki in the river here.
I think we have to cling on to that. That's good news. So we've had the police in there, we've had Peter and his amazing team that want to say thank you so much for giving their time and coming their way. So I think they're both singing from the same song sheet now, that she's not actually in from the bench to the weir. We categorically rule out Nikki is not in there, which we've got to hold on to good news. And then you've got the theories behind that are going into, if a victim does go in and drowns, the hypothesis is they just said stay where they're put. So we have to cling on to all these theories that I know, but we're still wanting that bit of evidence. And then I suppose that goes into a slight bit of frustration that the police, the mountain rescue, we've had Peter, we've had the community, we've had you guys, all pulling together, working as a team. That we've still...
Just tell us briefly what has happened this afternoon. There was a press conference, and what have the police said about this situation?
Well, I've just seen the press statement really, Dawn, and they just said that Nicola had an alcohol problem. I mean, Nicola had an alcohol problem. I mean, that detail didn't necessarily need to be released to the public, but it would have been useful if we had been given that information on the day as trusted search experts. Bearing in mind, we were being tasked by the police search advisor and given areas of water to search. If we'd known on the day, we would have kept it quiet. We wouldn't have told the media, but it would have assisted us, because I had the theory that she had just slipped into the river, and where it is, it's only 2 foot deep. So I would have thought about other areas to actually search.
So what do you make of this information being released now?
I'm just quite shocked, really, that this has been given now probably to the public at this time. I think they've panicked. I mean, I work with the police every day. I mean, got great respect for them, and I've never seen this ever happen. Normally, Dawn, we're given the confidential information on complex murdering cases, and we keep that information to ourselves, which actually helps us in the search, whether it be on land or in water. I'm bearing in mind I deal with about 10 drowning victims a year and a number of suicides where people just take themselves into water and drown, and we locate them and recover them. So I was shocked that I got this information was held back from us.
So what difference would it have made to how you have handled what you have been asked to do? You're working very closely with the family as well, aren't you? So what difference would it have made?
Well, it would have made me believe that possibly she could, Nicola could have wandered off. She could have wandered down the riverbank and potentially taken her own life. She could have wandered off and fallen in at another place, because the area we were tasked with searching was absolutely clear. There was search by police divers 3 times. It was searching us by side scan sonar, and we even extended our search upriver, extended the parameters just in case Nicola had wandered off and fallen in. So now I'm changing, has Nicola wandered off somewhere else, because there was no CCTV specifically along the main entry route, and the police have confirmed that in their press conference today.
Why was Paul called before the police? And why was the primary school called before the police? They passed the bench, allegedly saw the phone, saw a dog running loose in distress. The work conference meeting, the call was still on. And they obviously assumed that Nicola fell in the river or went to the loo, to the toilet, but when they saw that nobody seems to be coming for the dog, isn't it common sense to call the police first? Why would you call a primary school of a 6 and 9-year-old girls to traumatize the school? Does the primary school work with the police? Allegedly, what is going on? You may wonder why I'm so occupied with that, but then we have to remember, in every missing case, the first couple of hours is extremely crucial so that the police could come out with clearer hypotheses, that the police could come out with more evidence, forensic material can be collected. But this seemed to be all a distraction. Nobody out of the 4 or 5 people gathered around the bench had the common sense to mention, let's call the police. The police did not come to the site before 20 past 11, I believe, because Paul said that he called the police around 10:50. And he came to the site before the police. He was there allegedly for 20 minutes, and then he made his way back home because the police told him clearly to wait at home, to go back home and wait. And he said that he drove home and he said the police were there before him. They were quick. So did the police decide that it is best for them to get Paul allegedly away from the river for whatever reason, near the river? And I find it very interesting that the police came out with this theory from the very start that Nicola fell in the river. That is very interesting. It's like they already knew that she fell in the river without any